What's up, YouTube? Scott Tanic1 coming at you again here with another collection video. Before I get into what I've got in my couple of stacks of CDs here, I'm going to go ahead and say one thing. I'm actually going to be starting off with my Immortal collection, which is very small, but yet I have the entire discography. I just have it all digitally. Anyway, moving on. First one in the stack here we got is Immortal Damned in Black. Honestly, this is my least favorite Immortal album. After hearing their entire discography, this is definitely one of my least favorite albums. But it does have a couple good tracks on it, such as the title track, In Our Mystic Visions Blessed, and My Dimension. It's a good album if you want to complete an Immortal collection, but don't start off with this one. Start off with something like the next one I'm going to talk about here, Blizzard Beasts, At the Heart of Winter, Pure Holocaust. Anyway, Damned in Black's okay. Weak, but okay. Moving on. This is probably my favorite Immortal album, being the fact it's also one of the first ones I ever owned, but yet, at the same time, it's just that damn good of an album. I'm just going to go ahead and get into it. Mortal, Sons of Northern Darkness. What can be said? This is a fucking classic album. I don't care what anyone says. I mean, yes, the earlier stuff is amazing, but yet at the same time, Sons of Northern Darkness is just awesome. I would say some standout tracks, but I would end up naming off the entire set list. But yeah, we're going to probably the title track, Tyrants, Demonium are my favorites on this album. I actually also have this on vinyl, which I will show when I get to my vinyl collection. But yeah, definitely a good starting point for Immortal, Sons of Northern Darkness. This one I'm actually kind of proud to own because it's kind of rare now. I got it when it came out back in the day. It's a little super group that Abath did with Icedale, TC King, and Armageddon on drums. This is This is probably like a black metal version of Motorhead is what I kind of compare it to. It's really good though. Standout tracks are The Storm I Ride, Warriors, title track, Battalions, Far Beyond the Quiet, and Cursed Are We. This is a really good record. If you get a chance to pick this up, go ahead and do it. It's not Immortal, but that's what's so fucking cool about it. It's Abath doing something completely different, kind of outside of black metal, but yet at the same time in the realm of black metal with other black metal musicians. I definitely picked that one up. The next I got here, I actually reviewed earlier on, and that is the Abath solo record. You know, what can be said about it? Whatever I said about it in the review still stands to me. This is a fucking kick-ass debut. I can't wait for the next Abath record. With the monstrous packaging, though, man. The distributors and shit need to stop with the fucking monster packaging, man. It's getting a little out of hand. This fucking thing is like I can take up the whole screen with this shit. Anyway, Abath, definitely one of the best of the year so far. Moving on. I don't have much of this band's discography. I've just recently started getting into them, so pardon me for if I mess up shit. But anyway, Dark Funeral, Angelus Pro Eternus, Euro Pro Eternus. Pretty decent, not bad. I like the next album better. Actually, the first one I ever owned, which is kind of a weird statement, being I'm just now in this point in the game getting into Dark Funeral. But yeah, I mean, there's some good tracks on here. I got the double disc version here with like a live show on the second disc. I would have to say probably The End of the Human Race is pretty cool. The Birth of the Vampire, My Funeral, of course. Angelus Pro Eternus, the title track. I mean, this is a pretty decent album. I like the next one a lot better, which I actually already reviewed. But yeah, that's a pretty sick artwork, right? Dark Funeral. Pick it up if you want to complete your Dark Funeral collection. I'm thinking this is probably one of the weaker albums, but I don't know. Anyway, next one. Dark Funeral, Where Shadows Forever Reign. Like I said, I did a review of this one. I've got this on vinyl. I enjoy this album a fucking lot. I think it's great. I can't say it's the best thing they've ever done because I haven't heard much yet, but so far in the game of Dark Funeral, this is my favorite one. Unchain My Soul, As One We Shall Conquer. I could go on about my favorite tracks on here, but I'm really digging this album. Definitely going to be probably the top 5 of mine for the year. Dark Funeral, pick that one up if you can. Next band I really, really dig a lot. I don't have their entire discography yet either. I have some of it digitally, some of it physically. But let's get it on with it. The ones I do have physically: Satyricon, Nemesis Divinia. What can be said? This is a fucking classic. Shadow. This and the Shadow Throne are probably classic Satyricon. I haven't gotten Dark Medieval Times yet. I plan on doing so, but I just haven't really been able to get my hands on a reasonably priced copy of it. But anyway, Nemesis Divinia, yeah, definitely Forkside, Mother North, Immortality Passion title track. I mean, this is a fucking classic piece of black metal. Moving on, another one of my favorite album by the Satyricon here, we got Volcano. Volcano's pretty cool, man. With Ravenous Hunger, Angst-Ridden, Fuel for Hatred, Suffering the Tyrants, Repined Bastard Nation, Black Lava. This is a pretty fucking cool album. I believe it got won a Grammy in Sweden that year or something. I don't know, but yeah, definitely pick this one up. Satyricon, Volcano. Another Satyricon record, Now Diabolical. This is actually my first Satyricon record. I seen it in a shop one time, just really dug the artwork, never really heard the band before, so this was my gateway to Satyricon. This is Now Diabolical. Pretty cool little CD, gold. This is definitely a first pressing. I got this when it was released. What can I say? Now Diabolical, King, The Pentagram Burns, A New Enemy, Delirium, To the Mountains, Storm of the Destroyer. Definitely awesome. I like some of the earlier Satyricon stuff a lot better. I actually have Age of Nero, but I have that one digitally. I like that one a lot. That's probably my favorite modern Satyricon album, besides Now Diabolical. But yeah, moving on. This is a band that I was kind of turned on to by another YouTuber. The guy talked about the band so much. He's like, it's pretty much black metal mixed with Lord of the Rings mythology. And I was like, all right, I'll check them out. Here it is. Summoning, Minas Morgul. This is pretty awesome, man. I wish the vocals were a little bit higher in the mix, but it's kind of raw produced, so you got to kind of excuse that on it. Standout tracks are probably Lugbirds, the Blessing of the Great Company, Ornthink. I mean, there's a lot of good stuff on here. It's really hard to pick a favorite track on this because I've listened to it maybe 3 or 4 times, and I've gotten other stuff in, so it was a little harder for me to get into this one. But it's definitely worth checking out if you're definitely into atmospheric, epic black metal. Summoning is a good band to do that with. This is the only thing I have by Summoning. But yeah, Minas Morgul, pretty awesome. Moving on, I don't have a lot of this band's discography either. I don't have their classic album, In the Nightside Eclipse, because on these 2 albums here, I just wasn't getting into the band. But anyway, Emperor, Anthems to the Welcome at Dusk. This is a pretty decent album. Like I said, I can't really get into Emperor yet. Maybe I need to revisit the discography a little bit more. Actually, not the discography. I only have the 2 albums, but maybe pick up In the Nightside Eclipse and listen to these 3. See what I think again. But The Loss and Curse of Reverence is a pretty neat track. Man, Thus Spake the Night Spirit. This is a pretty decent album. I just only listened to it a couple times and I just couldn't get into it. But yeah, Emperor. Moving on to another album in their discography, Prometheus, the Discipline of Fire and Demise. I've listened to this twice, so that's why, yeah. Um, Honestly, I couldn't get into this one either. Maybe I need to revisit it. I don't know. But yeah, I can't really pick a favorite track off of it because, honestly, I've listened to it a grand total of twice. I've got these a long time ago in a bargain bin at a store. I asked a guy that was working there, I was like, with some good black metal, and he's like, oh, Emperor's awesome. We got a couple of theirs over there used, blah, blah, blah. And I went over there and I picked them up. They were like I basically, for both of these, I paid like $14 for both. So, you know, what can you do? Moving on to some more recent stuff. Oh, yeah, they're all the way over here. Sorry. These aren't classic black metal bands, but they, in my opinion, are some of the fucking best in the newer wave of black metal bands. B. Hexen, Nightside Emanations. Oh, man, this is fucking awesome. I love this fucking album, man. It's got a really cool fold out there with the digibook and whatnot, with the lyrics. It's pretty awesome, man. If I had to pick some favorite tracks off this, man, it would be almost all of them. Probably my favorite one on here is the most atmospheric one on here. It's called Circle Me. Yeah, it's an awesome fucking track. We Burn with Serpent Fire is another fucking awesome track off this album. Definitely check out B. Hexen if you haven't. This would be an awesome starting place for B. Hexen with their newer stuff. But yeah. Nightside Emanations. Awesome. I did a review of this one, B. Hexen, The Poison Path. Well, The Poisonous Path, sorry. Like I said in the review, this is fucking one of the best albums that came out this year. Really digging it a lot. Glad I have it in my collection here. So we'll move on to a band I haven't talked about yet that I'm really fucking into, man. I really dig these guys. Can't wait for a new album by them. I now have their entire discography. I'm rocking one of their patches and fucking awesome badge for the band. Watain, Rabid's Death Curse. This is not the first Watain album I heard. I'll get into that when I get to it in the stack here. But yeah, this is a fucking awesome raw black metal album. Let's get into the Limp Crucifix, On Horns Impaled, Life Dethroned, Angel Rape. This is a fucking killer album. Kind of lo-fi in the production way, which gives it that classic Norwegian feel. Pretty basic CD here. Yeah. If you're new to black metal, I would definitely recommend Watain. This is definitely one of those bands that are got some catchy as fuck riffs. Good stuff. Moving on to... Oh, shit. Watain, Casus Luciferi. This is a pretty decent album they got. This is where I start to really get into this band. The next three albums, though, which will be their entire discography, are the ones I like the most. These two being my least favorite, but this one is fucking awesome. Devil's Blood, Black Salvation, Puzzles of Flesh, I Am the Earth. Awesome album, man. A little step up from what was Rabid's Death Curse. Let's go ahead and check this out here for you. That's awesome, right? Fucking dig that fucking logo on there. Yeah. Moving on. One of my personal favorites in the Watain catalog. Watain, Sworn to the Dark. This album is fucking killer from start to finish. This is definitely a good jumping off point for Watain. The other two albums are great, but this is where they really start to come into their own. Legions of the Black Light, that's the song that's tributed to John of Dissection, which is fucking awesome. Satan's Hunger, Storm of the Antichrist. My favorite track on here is probably The Light That Burns the Sun, or the closer on here, Stellar Roar. Fucking awesome album, man. Definitely my favorite Watain artwork. That's just sick, man. Definitely good starting point for Watain, like I said. I may do some reviews. I may review the entire discography, but I want to listen to it a little bit more before I do so. Sworn to the Dark, definitely get this one. This one is probably my favorite Watain album, being the fact that it was the first album I listened to, and I listened to it a bunch. Like, I listened to it like 4 times in a row when I first discovered Watain. But, yeah, 2010's Lawless Darkness is fucking perfect newer black metal. I can't name a favorite track off here because I love pretty much all of them, but probably one of the biggest ones on here, Waters of Ain, is just epic black metal. But then you got out tracks like Melphator, Reaping Death, The Wolf's Curse. Oh man, it's so hard to pick a favorite off this. I really want to get this one on vinyl. I definitely plan on doing so, but this is probably a good starting point also for Watain. Lawless Darkness. I think, I would really like to review this band's discography, but I haven't listened to it enough. So I'm gonna really dive into Watain here and yeah, continue on. I want to dive into Watain and I can listen to the entire discography at least a couple times. But here you go, The Wild Hunt. This is probably my least favorite of the Watain discography so far. It's good. It's really good, but they take a really big departure from their sound on this one. It's definitely more, I wouldn't say well-produced because a lot of their stuff is well-produced, but it's more big budget produced. Like, there's, Eric does clean vocals on here, which sound great, but it's like, it's trying to be more mainstream, I guess. Is Watain trying to get on the radio? I don't know, but there is definitely some good shit here on The Wild Hunt. Probably my favorites would be All That May Bleed, The Child Must Die. They Rode On is one of the clean songs on here besides the title track, The Wild Hunt, which was also fucking great. But I don't know. Like I said, I need to really listen to more of the discography. Now that I have it all, maybe I should, dive into it a little bit more, so I could do a review of it, so I can be a little more critical of it. Anyway, enough about Watain. Really digging that band, but we're moving on. I really like this band too. This is the first thing I got from them. I saw it on Hell's Headbangers and dug the artwork, looked up both bands, listened to a couple tracks off of this. Figured I'd go ahead and pick it up. It was dirt cheap, like $9, $12 with shipping. Satanic War Master and Archgoat with their split, Lux Satanae, 13 hymns of devil worship, of Finnish devil worship. Damn, I was trying to nail that because it's a huge, long-ass title. But anyway, definitely if I had to pick a favorite side of this split, it would definitely be Satanic War Master. They've only got 4 tracks on here, but they're all 4 awesome. Black Destiny, Wolves of Blood and Iron, Satanic Winter, the Pest cover, and My Kingdom of Darkness. Then you get on to the Archgoat side, which is decent, but I really dig the Satanic War Master side. Really got me into the band. I actually have a Satanic War Master patch here on my vest. I really like these guys. Their discography is hard as fuck to get a hold of, but anyway, moving on to Archgoat. If I had to pick some favorite tracks on here, it would probably be Death and Necromancy, The Satanic Oath, that one's pretty neat, Black Messiah, Rise of the Black Moon. Definitely pick this up if you get a chance now. It may be sold out on Hell's Headbangers. I doubt it. They probably still have a few copies laying around, but yeah. And this artwork on here is just fucking sick, man. That is probably the coolest fucking artwork I've seen on a black metal album for a while. Yeah, then you got, your Satanic War Master side. There's your Archgoat thing, but... And then you got your Satanic War Master part. Oh, man. I highly recommend this. It's got a pretty cool little fold out here, which is pretty much the album art in a poster. I mean, yeah, that's fucking awesome, man. Definitely a good split. I'd like to do a review of it, but like I said, I need to listen to a little bit more of these bands' discographies before I start reviewing them, because I just need to hear more material to compare it to, if you get what I'm saying. And then finally for this stack, I've got Satanic War Masters Fimbulwinter. This is their newest record. Excuse me. And probably their easiest to get a hold of. Favorite tracks on here are probably Fimbulwinter Spell, Funeral Wolves. I like When Thunders Fail, or When Thunders Fail. Hail, not fail. When Thunders Hail. Dragon's Egg, The Silent Call of Moon's Temples. Pretty good black metal, man. It's a one-man band, except for now he does have like a full lineup. So, like, there you go right there. There's the inside of the CD. I definitely would like to get more Satanic War Master stuff. I think they're probably another one of my favorite newer black metal bands. I mean, they've been around for a while, but yet they're kind of new to me. So I'm just going to call them a newer black metal band because I'm a fucking idiot. Anyway, yep, that's it for the collection I got. The stack CDs here I got for the collection. Let me know what you guys think about these collection videos here down in the comments. Especially if you're actually watching the channel. I'm starting to get up there a little bit on subscribers, but not very many. So far, I've only reached 20 of you. But, yep, let's keep on going with this. I'll show more collection here pretty soon, probably. This has been a pretty long video, so I'm going to go ahead and sign off on this one. Take it easy, YouTube. See you in the next vid.